Today I thought about showing some of the diopside specimens I have in my collection. Some of these I've purchased and some of these I've personally collected. Maybe I'll start with the ones that I've collected first. To start with the ones that I've collected, all of these come from one location. That is the Dino Road cut. This road cut occurred, I believe they widened the road cut in 2019, and that is when I went to check it out in the summer of 2019, probably about a month after they had first blasted the road cut and I had first heard about it from other collectors. And already when I got there, it was a lot more sparse, the minerals there, but there were still some good pockets left, and from some of those pockets I pulled some really lovely clusters of diopsides, and even like a plate of diopside and a little interesting lump, kind of not a semi-crystallized lump with a couple clearer, gemmier crystals as well. To start with this large piece, you can see, so the Dino road cut, the main mineral there was actually actinolite tremolite series minerals. I think most people argue that it's actinolite, but I don't know if anybody's actually tested it, so to be on the safe side, call it actinolite tremolite, though I think it probably is actinolite. Here you can see a whole bunch of kind of opaque, kind of white diopside crystals in a plate formation, and you can see some of them are a little more blockier, whereas some of them have the more classic diopside shape. Now with these smaller ones, you can see that they have kind of intergrown with the actinolite. You can see it kind of grew with and on top of the actinolite. And you can see these are kind of have a more blockier terminations, which is kind of interesting. This one, more classic terminations, but still some blockiness. And similarly, it has some actinolite, and you can see where it was attached to the actinolite. The actinolite basically in a lot of these pockets kind of acted like the matrix for these diopsides. Now this piece is kind of unique and different from the other diopsides because it's actually got a pretty clear and gemmy crystal. It's kind of this weird lump of kind of gemmy yellowness that I found, and it's like you can see it's been partially crystallized, but most of the diopside has got chunky or broke, and only a couple small little yellow crystal faces still exist, but they're lovely crystal faces nonetheless. Here are two diopside specimens that I actually purchased. The one on the right is a recent purchase. I'll actually link a video to the video I showed this guy first in. I bought this at a local gem and mineral show, and I recently posted a video, so I'll link that below. If you haven't seen that video yet, check that out. And I believe this guy comes from the Dog Lake occurrence in Ontario, and this one is also an Ontario specimen, but this specimen comes from a road cut called the Grace Lake road cut. I believe it's near Wilberforce, Ontario. And it's just a lovely cluster of gemmy green diopside crystals with some pretty decent sized ones in there and some good faces and stuff. Now a little background on diopside. Diopside is a monoclinic pyroxene mineral. It's part of the pyroxene group. And actually, interestingly enough, it is a precursor to chrysotile. And for those who don't know what chrysotile is, it's white asbestos. So through geological steps, like certain geological steps, diopside is turned into white chrysotile, i.e. asbestos, which is kind of interesting. And then for the name, since it's not like the traditional ite name, which is kind of like the more standard naming of minerals nowadays, you call it somethingite. Diopside was discovered pretty early on, I think. Well, early on. That's a bit of a misnomer, but it was discovered kind of before the general naming conventions. So I believe it was about 1800 when it was first kind of classified. And its name is derived from the Greek words to and face. And that refers to it having, basically, there are two ways of orienting the vertical prism of diopside. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.